religious minorities most in need of its protections. The Kremlin confirms Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump on the sidelines of an international summit in Japan this week. Friday's talks are expected to include arms control, the Iranian deal, and North Korea. For more news from a Catholic perspective, visit EWTNnews.com. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Okay, I thought you were opening.
No, I asked you to open today.
No, I sent a message over for you to open. See, we have nothing planned. We have nothing planned. This is why it's unscripted, okay?
Well, I asked you to open. You said no, but I thought it was that joking no. I thought it was kind of your kidding no.
A joking no?
Don't you have a kidding no?
I do. No. I do. Okay, well, this is the point. Friends, welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is Unscripted. We bring nothing to the table. You do. And thank goodness you do. You better, or we're just going to be sitting here bantering back and forth. So it's Unscripted today on a Thursday. That's right. Normally it's on a Friday, and that is because I am traveling to Houston, Texas for the Fullness of Truth Angels and Demons Conference. So excited about it. I'm going to be speaking with Adam Bly and Father Wolfgang Seitz, and it's like going to be life-changing, and they're still taking reservations at the door. So please check it out, folks, fullnessoftruth.org. I'll be traveling. That's why I said to Jerry, please don't have Unscripted without me. So Jerry was kind enough to move it to Thursday.
Well, you know what they say, the lady wants, the lady gets. And I learned that phrase actually from a friend of mine who said it about our Blessed Mother. And I think that's true about Mary. Whatever she wants, Jesus is going to give her. And she, of course, would only want what's in conformity with his will. So anyway, it's Take Two here. And like Debbie said, it's Unscripted on a Thursday. So if this has thrown you completely off, because we usually have it on a Friday, sit down, take a deep breath. Think about what you'd like to talk about and call 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Debbie, there are other ways that people can get a hold of us, too. If they can't pick up the phone and call, they can do it by other means.
They can text us. They text the letters EWTN to 55000. Wait for a response. Put your first name in, your question, your comment. Little data rates may apply, but it's worth it. We think it is anyway. You can also email us, take2@EWTN.com. If you have our personal cell phones, you are very inclined to text us, which you do during the show, and we try to read them as well. You can also go on social media and weigh in on EWTN Catholic Radio Facebook page, the Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. By the way, please like us and then share it with two of your friends. That would really help us out a bunch. Or you can weigh in on the chats on YouTube or Facebook. Hi, everyone. You're all going strong. This is Unscripted, very popular show. We're going to ask you to, whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart, just call it in and talk to us about it. You may want to revisit past shows. You may want to suggest future topics, and we will happily put them on the calendar. You can add loved ones to our prayer book, yourself and your family as well, any intentions. We've got a lot of kind of housekeeping to do today as well, because this is actually the end of the week for me, Jerry, because I'm going to be flying tomorrow. So may I just wish our producer, who's not with us today, Jeff Burson is running the controls, a very happy birthday. Rich Jesse, happy birthday. Father of two beautiful baby girls.
You're not going to ask me to sing, are you?
Yeah, I was going to. Would you? Oh, no. Okay, forget it. I won't put you on the spot.
Trouble with my microphone today. Seems like my microphone cutting out.
Jerry, I see you moving the dials. Okay, you're on Skype. I can see you moving the dials. Now you know you can sing. You just don't want to. Weren't you a DJ?
I was a disc jockey for the first number of years, rather about the first 10 years of my radio career. And it was fun, but it's kind of a curse because there's a song in everything. When you're talking to somebody in a conversation, no matter what they say, it brings a song back to your mind, and that song sticks in your head the rest of the day, and it's really kind of weird. So, but anyway, here we are.
Happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday, Rich. Absolutely. And so he is out today, and hopefully he has some cake or something like that with his lovely family. And like you said, Jeff Burson is on the controls. Ryan Penny is screening your calls, anything you want to talk about, 833-288-3986. Yesterday we did part 2 of Have You Been Betrayed? If you didn't get through on that program, you can call in today. Any of the other shows we've done recently, we revisited the opioid crisis. We asked you, has God had to give you a wake-up call at some point in your life? We talked about the Priestley sexual abuse and cover-up scandal. We talked about your return to confession, all kinds of things. So previous shows are all fair game. Or as you just look around the world and you see what's going on here, what's going on there, and maybe you want to talk about that or something going on in the church or in your life. Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Mm-hmm. Can I bring up something? We actually put a message out to Kaylee. Kaylee called in yesterday, and she shared a very, very deep story about her life from the ages of 5 to 19. She's in her early 20s. And it really just, so many people commented after Kaylee, how strong of a woman she is, and a survivor, a thriver. How incredibly faithful she is, a faithful woman of God, and it's just beautiful. And Kaylee, you finished the call, and then you had sent us a message on Facebook, Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, that you wanted to comment, and maybe you didn't do it on the phone call. We didn't take it any other way, but just so you know, just to put your mind at ease, Kaylee wanted to make sure that everybody knew that her mother, during this whole story that she shared with us yesterday about sexual abuse, her mother was very, very supportive and very instrumental in her healing process, Jerry. And she credited her mom a lot. And she wanted to make sure we knew that. And that is a beautiful thing, a mother's love, a mother's understanding and everything that's happened. So, Kaylee, we want you to call back. We're hoping you can call back today so we can chat a little more with you. You really just lit up the responses. Everybody just wants to adopt you as their young daughter. They just think you're incredible. So if that happens and it works, please call in to 833-288-3986. But everybody else, this is Unscripted. Bring it to the table.
That's right. If you've got questions that you can't ask on the phone, you can ask anything you'd like about me and Debbie, about the show, about our faith journeys ourselves. You can ask if you've got something going on in your own faith walk right now, your prayer life, receiving the sacraments. Maybe you're wondering about a certain teaching of the faith, it's not clear to you, or you're just having a little trouble wrapping your head around it. We can talk about faith issues, current events, politics. I don't know, that's pretty ugly. So we'll stay away from that. 833-288-3986. But
You're
anything.
Hilarious.
Well,
Go ahead,
it's just I cannot remember until just the last couple of presidential election cycles where we had either party had like 20, 25 candidates. I'm looking at every time somebody else puts their name in there, I'm going, why? I don't get it. It's people I've never heard of. Most people have never heard of. But anyway, it's not a political show, and I hope it doesn't morph into one today.
Yeah. We want to keep it light and happy and spiritual. 833-288-3986. This is Unscripted. We can't wait to get to your calls.
Encounter with Dan Dematteis and Patrick Rice is our show for young adults.
The Holy Spirit is about a new and exciting work in the young church of today. On Encounter, we bring young adults the life-changing testimonies of ordinary people that launch them into lives of extraordinary mission. Their testimonies bring faith and power into the lives of everyone who listens.
Encounter with Dan Dematteis and Patrick Rice. The Spiritual Awakening begins Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
It's time for Family Man with Dr. Gregory Popchak.
Want better behaved kids? Here's a simple tip to instantly correct almost any inappropriate behavior. Instead of lecturing or wasting time developing increasingly strict or creative punishments, use do-overs to help your child learn to speak and act more appropriately on the spot. For instance, if your child speaks disrespectfully, insist they choose better words and a better tone and make them say it again until they express themselves well. Another example, if your child does a chore sloppily, require them to start over from the beginning, as many times as necessary, until they can demonstrate they know how to do the chore to your expectations. You don't need to yell. Let the do-over do the talking for you. And when they succeed, remember to compliment their effort. Good discipline teaches kids what to do, instead of just telling them what not to do. For more tips to make parenting easier, check out Parenting with Grace. I'm Dr. Greg Popchak, but you can call me Family Man.
To discover more ways faith can enrich your life, visit CatholicCounselors.com.
Take Two with Jerry and Debbie is your show every day, but especially on the Unscripted, which is a day early. It's usually on a Friday, but Debbie is traveling tomorrow. Pray for her safety and pray for an anointing upon Adam Bly and Debbie and Father
Wolfgang Seitz.
Okay. Because they're going to be talking about angels and demons, and whenever those two mix in a conversation, any kind of a talk or a conference, some clashes might take place, just to put it mildly. So I know, Debbie, you've been running into some issues getting your talks ready. So
it's crazy. Internet went down. Crazy things like all your documents are in your files, and then you go to look for them and they're gone. But then they reappear. I mean, the whole thing is so weird. And you're right, it happens. So I'm happy to do it because I believe that the good Lord wants people to have this information and to incorporate it in their spiritual life. But to be honest with you, Jerry, I kind of can't wait till it's over with. To take a little break, you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
From
absolutely.
the spiritual tax. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we usually do a little plug for another show at this time, and I'm gonna make an executive decision and plug Cresta in the afternoon.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that.
ahead.
I will be hosting the show for Al Cresta today. I'm very honored and blessed to be called upon to do that. And we have a number of guests who will be joining me. And last but not least on the show, Debbie herself is going to join me for the final two segments. And we're going to be talking, Debbie, about summer, the start of summer, and how families can keep themselves intact with regard to the faith and going to Mass and prayer and practicing the faith. And also kids as well, because we know they scatter to the four winds. So I bet you're looking forward to that. You have a lot of experience with families in the faith.
Oh, thank you. I was saying yay that you were hosting, not that I was going to be on. So I was saying yay, that's really nice. That's cool. I love Cresta in the afternoon. Just love the show. Great show. Yeah, thanks. I guess I do. I have a lot of experience, but I want families to feel prepared and ready and equipped and have all of the spiritual tools they need and enlist all the help of the heavenly realm they can to do great things in their lives and in their families and in their communities and in their parish life. So I really have that's my mission. But Jerry, if you were talking about also highlighting another show, if you may want to do this because it's our friends, I should say, Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers and Gloria Purvis, Morning Glory, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just to highlight there because we were actually just chatting about how great Morning Glory is to start off the day, Jerry.
It really is. Many good ways to start your day with EWTN programming, so keep your radio dial right here. And thank you to all the affiliates who carry this and other programs. Okay, it's Unscripted, Deb. We got a bunch of calls, so I guess we better get to them.
Okay, Rhonda in Milton, Florida on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for being first up on Unscripted today.
Hi.
Hi.
You're more than welcome. Because you guys are doing Unscripted, this is something that has just had my head exploding since it happened yesterday. A friend of mine said he had a bone to pick with Catholics, and I asked him, what is that? And he proceeded to tell me that Catholics had changed the Sabbath from Saturdays to Sundays so that they could worship Apollo, the god of sun god, however. I kept throwing answers back at him. I threw some scripture at him about, it was Matthew 13, possibly. It was from Matthew where Jesus said, you are Peter, and on this rock I...
Matthew 16, right. Yeah.
Build my church. It's 16, okay. Yeah. I'm bad with numbers, sorry. Yes, and he kept throwing back that, the Roman Catholic Church was around before Jesus, and I said, no, it wasn't. We actually just I told him I refused to discuss it with him anymore because he would not budge. He sat there and he threw a link at me about the Inquisition. I threw a link at him about in 313 something. I mean, I've never argued with him over religion, and how could anybody think that the Catholic Church was around before Jesus Christ?
Right. Right. Jerry's going to, Rhonda, Jerry's going to answer, but I just have to have some clarifying questions. Is your friend a former Catholic, a fallen away Catholic?
No.
No, and is he a believer? Is he Christian?
He is. He's Baptist.
Oh,
he's Baptist.
He's actually looking. He's Baptist, and he's actually he's wanting one of these churches that still preaches hell and brimfire, and just really.
Well, he should become Catholic then.
I guess that's. He should.
He should become Catholic then.
But no, I mean, Catholics teach the love and the forgiveness, and we talk, and the more I've listened to EWTN, I just started shortly before Easter, and I love it. And my radio network does Mass every morning at 7 a.m., which I'm at work, but I'm able to listen to the radio in my truck, and it's just it's calmed me down a lot being able to listen to the radio, listen to EWTN and you guys, and it's
good. Let me toss a few things out here, Rhonda. This is one of those things that Debbie and I could do a lot of apologetics on the radio about many of the Catholic beliefs and practices. This is one that it really requires a lengthy discussion, and it's kind of one of those fine-tuned discussions that I'm personally not equipped to really give a thorough explanation. I don't know if you are, Debbie, but I would guess that this man is a Seventh-day Adventist. You said he was a Baptist. I don't know if you're certain. If he said that he is, I've never heard of a Baptist who was arguing against Sunday as the day of coming together and celebrating the Mass. That I can see him being anti-Catholic in many ways. But here's the thing, Rhonda. You mentioned Matthew 16, and that is where Jesus said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." There have been volumes written about that, some against the Catholic position and some so airtight in support of the Catholic position. We know that Jesus made Peter the rock, the foundation, the first leader / pope of the Catholic Church. We know it was the Catholic Church from councils that have been held and from books that have been written in history and tradition and all that. It was the Catholic Church that formed what we call the canon of the Bible, which books belong in the Bible. And really, the Christ established a church with a teaching authority. He must have done that. Rhonda, ask your friend, why are there 30, 40, 50,000 quote-unquote Christian denominations? And every time, if somebody goes to a particular church or a pastor does, and he, somebody doesn't like what he preaches, they can go, in the next building on the storefront next door that's for lease and open up their own church. So, but see, as Catholics, we can't do that. And there's no way. That is anarchy. That's a recipe for anarchy, and that's a recipe for actually a lot of souls going to hell, because there are a lot of untrue doctrines, like once saved, always saved. That is one of the most pernicious doctrines ever proposed by anyone, because the Bible is so clear that we have to have a relationship with God. We have to do works. James talks about faith apart from works is dead. It talks about doing the will of the Lord. In fact, I think yesterday or today, the Mass reading, or one of the gospel or mass readings was, not everyone who says, "Lord, Lord," will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only those who do the will of God. So there's so many things here. And he's throwing at you the Inquisition, and he's throwing, all this other stuff, which is totally irrelevant to the conversation. But I am all over the map here, and I don't know if anything that I've said has made a bit of sense. Debbie, as always, can probably come in and in about 15 seconds say anything what I was trying to say much more eloquently.
You're too kind. Help me out with this, Jerry, because you worked with Catholic Answers for many years. Couldn't Rhonda go to Catholic.com and get some, detailed information on the Sabbath being Saturday or Sunday, or when to celebrate the Sabbath, or the original intent of the Sabbath and what day? So Catholic.com, Rhonda, if you would do that as well. I agree with Jerry. It would take to be absolutely precise and give you correct, an absolutely, or EWTN.com. You can go to EWTN.com and find information there as well. I would encourage you to do that. It might be really fun to do the research and bring it back to your friend. My Baptist friends, Rhonda, what I can say is they are really, really wonderful, wonderful people who love the Bible so very much. They cling to the Bible.
They do.
And I love that about my Baptist friends. I love it. And there's so much we can share. But when we start to split hairs and then, the Catholic tradition and our our church fathers and everything that has come down, our teaching of the Catholic faith, that's when we start to kind of, pick it apart and start to divide. And it's very unfortunate. The one thing I would say is, for me anyway, the reason why I say this is because, my ex-husband and his family were Jewish. And so, of course, their Sabbath was a different day. Okay, so I understand that argument. But I just want to say, for me as a Catholic, Sunday is, we are celebrating the Sabbath. We are recognizing the Sabbath. And it is such a resurrection day for us. And it is everything, because without that resurrection, we would never, ever, ever be able to attain, the beatific vision. We would never be able to reach heaven. And so for me, I just find it that you can kind of get into the details and argue about the details. And before you know it, you're split apart. I would actually get to the main concept of what we all believe as Christians. So I don't know if that helps either. Maybe I'm rambling as well, but I kind of feel bad that your friend picked that as an argument. There's a lot of other arguments they could have picked, that maybe you could have.
He was so intrigued. Whenever I told him, I brought up the subject how the Catholic Bible has more books than the Protestant, because he's diehard on the King James Version. Like he said, the Baptists love their Bibles, and he was very intrigued. And we normally have such intelligent conversations, and for him to throw this at me that we worship Apollo, what? So
yeah,
I guess
that's unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I guess I'll have to do some more research.
Would you?
Like, well, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. And I'm not willing to let it rest with that disbelief in his head. No.
Oh, okay, so Rhonda, we have an assignment for you, okay? We need you to do the research at Catholic.com or EWTN.com and then email us and give us the updated information. Would you do that? Because we need the gift of, like, trilocation. Would you do that?
I know. I definitely, I will. I'll send you some of the links that he sent me, too, because I've got to look into. He said something about the Old Testament, and we're still doing practices. We're still practicing. And I'm kind of like, I wanted to go here, and I held my tongue. But You know what? Until you step foot in the Catholic Church and understand what we practice and believe, don't try to tell me what we.
Sounds like he's seeking.
Very nice.
Yeah. But sounds like he's seeking and he's curious. Okay, so take 2 at EWTN.com. Please do that for us, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, and when you put a search in there, Rhonda, it's very easy. Just put Sabbath, Sunday, Catholic, anything like. If you just use those keywords, a lot of great resources will come up. And we thank you. Thank you for your call. Thanks for your passion about this as well. I just want to go back to a couple of things I said. I got passionate in that phone call a little bit, and I said some things. I mean no disrespect to our non-Catholic brothers and sisters at all. They love the Lord so much, and I've fellowshiped with many of them over the years. I still do. I referred to that, assurance that if you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, that after that, I mean, if you take it to its logical conclusion, many people will say, no, you have to live a certain sort of life after that. Well, that it's not implied. If you say once you do that you are saved and you cannot lose your salvation, then there's nothing you can do to lose that. That to me, like I said, is just it's a dangerous doctrine. It's a harmful doctrine, as is I think obviously clear, Debbie, because if we say the sinner's prayer and we say, okay, now I'm saved, and then because we all know people who have been fervent for Christ and on fire and just in that honeymoon stage, and later that cooled a little bit. Mm-hmm. And they've even walked away from the Lord. Were they saved? Some people would say they were never saved anyway. So you see, it's just the Catholic Church has it right on salvation, on all of these issues, because Jesus wants it that way. Jesus wants his family to be one, to be united, not to splinter and scatter and so forth. And he wants us to know truthfully what is required to attain salvation, and that is to achieve holiness. As our good friend Deacon Harold Berksiver says, he says, he'll ask people all the time, who describe for me the people who are in heaven. And somebody will say, well, they're good people. And he goes, no, there are no good people in heaven. He says there are saints in heaven. Mm-hmm. And so holiness is required of us, and that requires us to live a certain way. And the church has, things that we can conform ourselves to. So I meant no disrespect, but I just really have always.
I didn't take that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've just always had a problem with that particular doctrine.
Sure.
That some non-Catholics believe, just because it can really set somebody up for belief in a false salvation that they may get a very horrible surprise someday. I just would never want that to happen.
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show how much you care about everybody, and that's a beautiful thing. You care about souls, Jerry. That I can attest to. Can we just quickly, Monica, I want you to hold on, and Jerry as well, and Mary, you too, please. And thank you again, Rhonda, for your beautiful call. We'll be waiting for your email. May I just share this, Jerry, real quickly, because this came in from our friend Judy, our Take Two family member. It just really hit me hard this morning, real hard, you guys. Judy called several months back and asked for prayers for her husband who had neuropathy. I remember it quite well because I struggle with that as well. And we've been praying for Judy's husband, Jim. Judy and Jim took a trip to, they left Oklahoma and took a trip to Shreveport, Louisiana. And they were heading for New Orleans. They stayed overnight in Shreveport, Louisiana. And on the next day, this was April 26th, they got in an accident, a car accident, and Jim died. Jim passed away. Judy was hurt pretty bad. She fractured her pelvis and fractured her leg, but she's doing so much better now. She's back to work. Can we pray so much for the repose of the soul of Jim? See, I'm going to cry because he was doing so well and he was getting better and he was walking and out of pain. And then this happens on April 26th on a vacation, folks. And so you see how precious life is. So if we can pray for our Take Two family members, Judy and Jim, that would really be good if we could do that.
Okay, again, as Debbie said, we are going to return to your phone calls momentarily. So if you are on the line, you will get on the air. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. It is unscripted. Anything you want to talk about on this episode of the program.
Raymond Arroyo.
We need EWTN radio for the reason that Mother Angelica founded this enterprise. She saw this as a holistic approach, reaching the whole person, bringing them truth and life.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN radio.
Jumpstart your faith. Now coming to a parish conference or retreat near you, world-renowned Catholic radio host Jerry Usher.
It's not enough to stop doing whatever it is that's keeping you from union with God. For most of us, there are serious issues that need to be addressed first in order to be able to embrace that life of virtue. All those things we're all called to, but which every one of us struggles to achieve.
Invite Jerry Usher today. Contact thirdmillenniummedia.com.
Bishop Robert Barron.
I'm kind of a teacher by nature, and I've always loved books and ideas and life of the mind and speaking and all that. So I've brought that into the priesthood. A very wise thing was said a long time ago, namely that if God chose you to be a priest, He chose you to be a priest, meaning He chose you with your particular gifts and what you're going to bring. So you don't leave that behind. On the contrary, God chose me with these particular gifts. So I've always discerned that teaching and writing and preaching and proclaiming would be a key part of it. And it has been. I found great joy in that. I've always found joy in the pastoral work. I did it when I was newly ordained. I was in a parish for 4 years. And whenever I would go to a hospital, I go to a nursing home, go into the school, counsel, engage couples. I always found great joy in that, even though it's challenging.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
I'm Gloria Purvis.
And I'm Deacon Harold. The Morning Glory team talks about stop leaving Mass early.
Tomorrow morning, 7 Eastern. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
This is Unscripted on a Thursday here at Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and we hope you call in at 833-288-3986. There's plenty of time to get on the show, just as Monica did from Bloomington, Illinois. First-time caller. Hi, Monica. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart.
I guess my question is more of like a story. Mm-hmm. So, I grew up Catholic and went to Catholic school my entire life. And then I started getting these feelings of bisexuality. And I don't know. I'm in a relationship with a girl for 3 years, and I absolutely love her, and I want to marry her. But my family is very Catholic, and my mom, she mentioned to me, I guess 2 days ago or something, about EWTN and, like, talking to them. So I've been listening to a lot of, like, Morning Glory and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to call in and ask, how do I repair the relationship with my family? Because I don't want to lose my family, especially my mom, but I just don't know if that's possible, I guess.
Well, Monica, bless your heart. Thank you for calling and for sharing what you have. It's a very personal thing, and you've shared something very deep about yourself, and you're having these feelings, and it's understandable that you would perhaps think that they are right and they're normal, and you're kind of following through with that, with this pursuit of this other lady. Your parents are sharing what they're sharing with you because they're sharing what the Catholic Church teaches on this. And it really is rooted in Genesis chapter 1, right at the end of where God, on the 6 days, maybe not literal days, but God creates the sky and the sea and the earth and the animals and all this stuff. And then it says, God created man in his image and likeness, male and female, he created them. And I think there's a couple of important things there. One, the Bible mentions male and female, but it ties it back to God's image as well. It says, God made man in his image. And so man is the only creature, really, that has this likeness to the image of God. And how we understand that, Monica, is God the Father and the Spirit are neither male nor female, but we have Jesus as the Son. He was revealed to us in the flesh as a male, as the Son. But here's the thing. We understand the relationship within the Trinity is such an intimate relationship between the Father and the Son that the Holy Spirit is, in a sense, born from that or begotten from that. He's not born in time, but he is begotten by the love of the Father with the Son. And so that is sort of how the image, we live out that image, is man and woman come together, and their union, their love begets more love, if you will, in the form of a child, which obviously, as you know, cannot happen normally or naturally within a homosexual relationship. So, Debbie, you may have some thoughts to share here, but Monica's not alone in this, and please, Monica, understand, we're trying to be very helpful to you here and also help you maybe keep that relationship open with your parents. But Debbie, what would you say? What would you share?
Well, and Monica, my main concern, I love the fact that you want to keep your relationship open and good with your parents. I want you to keep your relationship open and good with God. And so does Jerry. We all do. And so you want to, that's probably why your mother's encouraging you to listen to EWTN. So a couple things. Jerry's going to share some websites and some people that if you would get in touch with them, because they are in a similar situation as yourself, and so you can have a support system, and they are very Catholic, and they can be of support to you. May I ask this, Monica? You don't have to give me your exact age. Could you give me an age range that you are?
I'm 22.
You're 22. Okay. And so you've been with this gal for 3 years. And so a couple things I just wanted to say. We have gotten into such labeling in this country, okay? Homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, transgender, this, that, and everything else, okay? What we really have to remember, we are sons and daughters of God, okay? We have to remember who we are. Okay, we are not defined by these labels. So I want you to remember that first, Monica. The second thing is your parents love you so very much. They want you. I can guarantee you this because all parents want this. They want their children to be the happiest they could possibly be. And Monica, here's the thing. Right now, you are in this relationship with this other woman, okay? And it's maybe something you feel is working for you, it's what you want, you're drawn to, but is that the right thing for Monica long term? And that's the thing that I think you got to give yourself time to think about and to pray about, honey, because life is, you're 22, you got a lot of life ahead of you. And don't forget, Monica, you have all of eternity, which never ends. Okay, so you got a lot ahead. You want to make sure you're entering into the right relationships for the right reasons and aligned with God's will as much as possible. And so that's why your mom wants this for you, sweetheart. She loves you so very much. So I just would encourage you, take in these websites and these people that Jerry's going to mention. In fact, the gal that he's going to mention is phenomenal. You will love her. I hope you can get a chance to actually talk to her, Monica. But keep absorbing what you know about your Catholic faith, because that's who you are, a daughter of God. Okay? God's not going to see Monica the bisexual. Okay? God's going to see Monica, my daughter. My daughter. Remember that, sweetheart. And that's what I would just want to say. And I hope you receive it. I hope you received it in the right way that was intended. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You seem like are you getting emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is hard for you, isn't it?
Very.
Yeah. I know, sweetheart. You know what, honey? You're not, but here's the thing. You're not alone, okay? And the more we walk with one another and help one another process things out for our own good, the better we are. The sad thing is when people jump in right away and then they can't turn back. So I'm hoping that, Jerry, can you share some more with Monica?
Well, there are a couple of websites. Monica, what I'm going to do is have our producer today, Jeff Burson. I can't get into post on the website right now, but Jeff, if you would do that, I'll email those to you. One is a website for Courage. It's a group within the Catholic Church that helps men and women with same-sex attraction live vibrant, dynamic lives, faith-filled lives, and receiving the sacraments and in love with God and receiving God's goodness showered upon them. And the other one is a website by a young lady. I think she's 23, 24 years old now. It's Avera Maria Santo. I'd give her website out here, but it's kind of long. She has a wixsite.com, something or other. So those will be posted on our website at take2show.com. But Avera travels around the country talking to people. She is your age, and she is on fire for Jesus. And she does not really let her sexual attraction identify her or lead her
She's
in her
wonderful.
life. But the last thing I would want to share with you, dear Monica, is I'm sensing, maybe I'm wrong, but you think because of what the church teaches, and maybe what Debbie and I have shared with you, is you have to go to your friend, this female friend of yours, and say, I can't see you again, I can't spend any time with you. That is absolutely incorrect. You can maintain a beloved friendship. And you could be the person, Monica, who, through your friendship in a chaste manner, you could be the vessel through which, God can speak to her heart. I don't know if she's Catholic or not, if she has any faith life or not, but the two of you could really make this the center of your relationship, kind of the key thing that binds you together, rather than because let's face it, sexuality and sexual activity is a tiny, tiny, tiny part of any relationship, including marriage between a man and a woman. It's sacred, it's beautiful, but it's a small part. So if you were going to be with this other woman in a relationship, there's so many other things you would do. You'd go for walks, you would ride horseback, you would go shopping together, and maybe you would go to church together. So if there's any chance at all that you can have a conversation with her and say, for right now, I think based on what I know about my Catholic faith, I would like to have a chaste relationship, but still spend as much time together as we were going to. I think God would bless that, Debbie. Don't you think? God is just waiting to shower Monica and her friend with His love and His graces.
Absolutely, absolutely, but it would all be on the path to holiness. It would all be on the path to sainthood, Monica. Monica, I agree with everything Jerry said, but one other thing I want to share with you, because your tears just hit me so hard, because I'm a mom as well and a grandmother. Monica, you're not alone. Okay, first of all, you have your guardian angel right beside you. Your guardian angel is real. Your guardian angel is there to guide you and guard you. Okay, think about that, Monica. Guide you and guard you. Please make friends with your guardian angel. talk to your guardian angel. Have your guardian angel help you illuminate your intellect, Monica, and strengthen your will, because we're all on a crazy journey called life, Monica, all of us in different ways, and we need that extra powers. And in fact, I listened to a priest last night that was on YouTube talking about we better tap into the spiritual powers of our guardian angels now, because we need it, because we're on a course with no direction. So if that brings you any hope, smile again, sweetheart. I think it's beautiful that you had the courage to call in and talk to us about this. We'd love to stay in touch with you. You can email us anytime. You just have to email take2@EWTN.com, and it comes right to us. So anything else you want to share, sweetheart?
Not at the moment, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, one final thing, Monica. Our show has been on the air a little over 4 years, and our listeners jump on things that they feel need prayer. And so you're named after one of the most famous saints, Monica, whose son Augustine was, away from any faith for many, many decades, and she prayed him not only into the faith, but he became a bishop and a saint. And so Saint Monica is with you, and we're going to pray for her intercession. Most of all, for you to have, first of all, clarity about what you should do. You have peace. You have a conscience, so you must follow your conscience, but we're going to pray that conscience is enlightened to know what God's will is for you, and that you find, as Debbie said, peace in that. Because, Monica, we know from the Bible, our peace is found in doing the will of God, and we know you want peace. That's one of the reasons you called today, and it's one of the reasons, like Debbie said, we all go through this messy thing called life, and if we don't have peace in our minds, our hearts, and our souls, then life is really not all that fun, So we're going to pray that you. Yeah, go ahead, Deb.
Yeah, and can I just say something? If Monica's mom's listening, Monica, I hope you give me permission. I hope it's okay. I just want to say to Monica's mom, if you're listening, you have a beautiful daughter. Her tears, they talk about how Padre Pio, Monica, used to talk about how your tears to God, or your tears just in general, will be gathered up by the angels and presented to God. And Padre Pio used to talk about that. So don't ever think that emotion that you're sharing, it's not wasted. God's watching everything. He hears your heart, sweetheart. And I just want to say to Monica's mom, you have a beautiful daughter. So God bless you, honey. Please keep in touch with us.
Will do.
Okay, Monica, again, check out the website, take2show.com for those links. They'll be up there a little bit later on. And feel free to email us. It's just take2@EWTN.com. And you go with all of our deep love and respect and admiration and affection, and also all of our prayers as well, Monica. So hang in there, young lady. You're going in a good direction. You're asking the right questions, and God is with you. God is with you. Your Holy Spirit is with you, and as Debbie said, your angel's with you as well, and we're with you too. So
yeah, we're with you. We're with you, Monica. If you want us. Some people don't want. You're welcome,
right,
sweetheart.
Bless your heart, Monica. Thank you.
Some people don't want us. I can't imagine why.
I don't know.
No, there's not that many.
Some people have no taste,
Don't email us. Yeah, right. We want to be. We want to. They're not gone. Isn't that our favorite movie? What About Bob?
Yeah. What about
He's
Bob?
Not gone.
Right. He's not gone.
That's right. Okay, where are we going next, Jerry? That was a beautiful call by Monica. What a sweet gal.
We're actually going to go to Jerry in Sydney, Montana. And Jerry and Laura and Mary, I want to thank you all for holding. We wanted to give Monica a couple extra minutes there. So thank you all. You all share the Patience Award today. Jerry in Montana, listening on Real Presence Radio. You're next on Take Two. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for waiting.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
Doing pretty
good,
well.
Jerry. How
about
are
you, Jer?
Oh, good. Hey, Jerry, I just want to say that was a beautiful inspiration talk that you give to Monica. That was fantastic. You're just a down-to-earth, sweet guy.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for that. That means a lot to me.
Well, the call screener got my name wrong. It's Gary, Gary. But anyway, I've got kind of an odd request. It's actually a blessing request. I'm doing the reflection at the Word and Communion service at our church on Sunday, and I'm having a hard time with this gospel reading. It talks about the Samaritans, and I just read it this morning, but anyway, I won't ramble on. But anyway, is there any resources out there on this gospel so I can get the story straight and reflect on it to my parish community on what Jesus is trying to tell us?
Yeah, there have to be some, Gary, and I am not pulling them up in my mind immediately. Maybe Debbie is, but there are a lot of commentaries on Scripture, for example. You can look online for those. Maybe you have some. If not, talk to your parish. Your pastor most certainly has commentaries that he uses to prepare his homilies, for example.
Right.
And there are also, I know there's one magazine, I think it's called Priest Magazine, and they give homily helps and starters and things like that. I know it's not a homily that you're giving, but it would be akin to that. So those are some of the things that come to mind. What else, Debbie?
USCCB.org. If you go there with the Sunday readings, Gary, there's also sometimes if you scroll down, they'll have resources that will relate to the reading. Did you do that yet?
I have not. USCB?
It's USCCB. It's the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops.org.
So USCCB.org.
Right.
.org. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will go into that, and because I've got a Catholic Answers Bible. I love it. I thought it would explain a little bit more about these readings, but it really doesn't go into too much depth. So I will give that a try. I really appreciate your help. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, and Gary, before you go, do an internet search also type in if there are some key words in the gospel passage that you're trying to get a commentary on. Just type that in. In fact, if it's a story, if it's a parable, type in an internet search for that story or that parable, or say commentary on Mark 6:14 through 18 or something like that, because I think that will show up a lot of things. Now, the thing you have to consider there is it's going to show up a lot of Catholic things and non-Catholic things, and so you have to be aware of which are the solidly Catholic ones. But the other piece of advice that I would give you is I would consider going before the Blessed Sacrament, Gary. Maybe you've done this already. Read this passage over and over and over, and just let it sink into your heart, and then maybe take some notes while you're before the Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, because He is the Word made flesh. And if you're going to be speaking to people about a passage, a particular section of the Word, well, then who better than Jesus to go to and get insights and inspiration? So that's something you might want to consider if you haven't done that already.
I totally agree, and I've had that thought in my mind as well, and I will definitely have to do that because, it's a tough one. It's a tough gospel reading, I think, and I just want to be on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I just read it as you and Jerry were talking. Yeah, I just read it. You're right. It is. I can see why you called, Gary. It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
Do you have to teach on this, Gary?
No, we have a word in communion every fifth Sunday in our parish, and that's where the priests they take that weekend off so they can get a break, because they have 5 or 6 parishes that they have to take care of in our area, and so we do a word in communion, and there's like 4 of us that went through a 3-year class to give the reflections on the Gospels.
Gotcha.
And so I was blessed to be asked to do this Sundays, and so
you know what I would do if
we have to do that.
Yeah, if I was asked to do this, I would definitely go through my cell phone and call some of my deacon friends and priest friends and just bounce it off of them. You might need a couple different angles on this one, Gary, because this is tough. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be praying. We'll be praying for you. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that, Gary. It's going to go great. We just know that, and get back to us. Either call or send an email to take2@EWTN.com, and love to hear how that went for him. That's great.
Yeah.
Great to see lay people stepping up and
I love it.
wanting
And helping
to
out.
inspire one another, and edify the rest of us. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Helping the parish community grow. Thank you, Gary. Mary, hold on. Elizabeth, you as well. Laura in Phoenix, Arizona on the EWTN app. We're going to get to you because you actually, I believe you might have a message from Monica. Monica, I hope you're still listening. Hi, Laura. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning, Jerry and Debbie. I've got to say, first of all, your advice, both of you, to Monica is spot on and fabulous. Let me tell you quickly, when I heard Monica cry, it really affected me because I am Monica, only I'm not 22, I'm 54. And when I was 18, I came out. I'm cradle Catholic. My family, my mother, hardcore, does the rosary every day. She was crushed. In fact, she told me that she wanted to kill herself when she found out. It was a struggle. But I felt I was in love. I was happy. And I've always believed in God. I've always wanted God in my life. But this world, it pulls at you so dramatically. And that feeling, like what she's feeling right now with her girlfriend, it's very powerful. But I wanted to reach out to Monica and let her know, Debbie, you're so right. She is not alone. She is not alone. There are people to talk to. And I'm telling you, God will not let you go. He did not let me go, thank God. And it took me years. It took me bad relationships. It took me a lot of hurt, a lot of emptiness to come around to say, I don't want to lose God. Eternity is so much longer and it's so much more important. And so I live a chaste life. And you're right. I could hug you both right now. Labels are not important. I don't consider myself a lesbian, bisexual, anything. I am a child of creation of God, period. End of story. And my focus is on God. And I have friends who live a certain way. I try to educate them. But I live a chaste life. And I'm telling you, Monica, it's possible. You can be happy. And I just want you to know you're not alone. Your tears went right to my heart. I am praying for you, and you are loved.
Amen, sister. Did you hear how quiet we were, Laura? We were just going to let you run out the clock because you are amazing.
I have goosebumps right now. You know what? I have to compliment you guys again. Your advice, both of you, was spot on. It's like you've lived it. And she's 22, and I would hate for her to have to go through all the pain and anguish that I went through. And it took me years and years. And I wish someone had come up to me and given me this truth years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
And that word right there, Laura and Debbie and Monica, if you're still listening, that word truth, Monica, what you're seeking really is the truth. And sometimes we seek it in places that we think we're going to find it, and we think for a time that we have found truth and that peace that we talked about. But as Laura is sharing, it can be a bumpy road over time, numerous relationships in some cases, not all. But a lot of disappointment and heartache and so forth. So, Laura, I'm so glad that you called.
Me too.
I'm sure. Debbie. I hope, Monica, if you're listening, this shows, Monica, how much you are loved. We told you had all the Take Two family praying for you. Now you actually have one of the members of the family calling in to support you in a very personal way. So I think it's great.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for stepping up and being prompted by the Spirit to call in. Because if Monica's listening, it was meant to be. God's using each and every one of us to reach each other and to help each other get on that good path towards heaven. So thank you, Laura. Thank you for everything you shared. We're thanking you. You don't have to thank us. We'll thank you. God bless you.
Amen. Thanks, Laura. And Elizabeth and Mary, we are up against that time when we're going to have to go ahead and sign off here very, very shortly. But Debbie, just again, a quick mention about your conference, because we're on the air in the Houston area and throughout Texas, and even places people could drive in from or fly in from anywhere they want. So give another mention.
Well, our webmaster, Sean, is driving in 3 hours from Austin with friends. So you know what? It's worth it. Angels and Demons, fullnessoftruth.org. They're taking registrations at the door. So please, if you can make it there, it's soul changing, life changing. I mean, not because you're coming to see me, but Adam Bly is incredible. And Father Seitz, I hear, is just outstanding. So please, folks, Angels and Demons Conference, fullnessoftruth.org. Elizabeth, I'm so sorry we're not going to get to you, or Mary as well, but we understand, Elizabeth, you have a word for Monica, an important word for Monica. Could you please email us, Elizabeth, at take2@ewtn.com. Hopefully, if Monica stays in touch with us, we'll be able to get her the information you wanted to share, Elizabeth. And Mary in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it sounds like you need some prayers for your family. Please do the same. If you email us, we'll get it out to the Take Two family.
Okay, yeah, thank you all very, very much. And by the way, Monica, Elizabeth in Ohio was going to share that she did have an issue, a struggle with same-sex attraction at one point. Now she's married with kids. So happiness awaits you, Monica, and all of us, if we do the will of God, and He is going to lead our paths. He'll direct our steps, and I know He's going to direct every one of yours. Thanks, everyone, for a great program, great Unscripted.
Oh, yeah. We love the Take Two family. Thank you so much. And Jerry will be solo tomorrow, so make sure you fill those phone lines. Until tomorrow, have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.
Dr. Ray Gurendi, making a commitment to the wives. When the show's on, put the radio under your husband's pillow. The percentage of yes dears will rise. The doctor is in next.
Called, formed, sent. We're talking about the Birmingham Eucharistic Congress live right here on EWTN Radio. I'm Tom Price.